It's a signal. And what's interesting about it is, as usual, as they think about the budget for 2026, they're going to make layoffs. They're going to cut about 10% across the entire business.
Okay.
That tends to be what happens at this time of year. But he gathered his top executives in his house in Hawaii to discuss, okay, where should most of the resources be coming from? Because remember, they're spending a ton on AI, and people have been worried about that. How can he offset that? Well, 30%. More cuts, therefore, going to this particular part of Reality Labs. Now, Reality Labs are still going to be making your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. They've seen real interest in the AI use in augmented reality. But virtual reality, we're not living in it yet. He really thought we'd all be doing our workouts there, we'd be working there, and it just hasn't caught on in the way that was expected. So, of course, pull out resources from there, reallocate them. And I do think that it's interesting, of course, they rebranded under this name. For now, it's becoming sort of a metaverse of AI and augmented reality rather than virtual reality right here, right now.
So was Meta just too early? Are we not ready yet for a virtual reality? Or...
I don't think we are.
Okay.
I mean, are you using it?
I'm not.
I mean, my husband loved he got the one of the original sort of Oculus versions of the headset. And yeah, he was doing workouts and then he sold it in a garage sale. Because I think and it got to a point where it's like, what are the applications for this? I love the idea of when I'm working abroad and I need I need access to lots of screens, but I can't have just lots of screens. It was great to see how that could have been used. But I wasn't going to spend that many thousands on the piece of hardware. They've really got to understand the integration here. That's kind of why it's so interesting. It comes at that time where we also understand Alan Dye from Apple, one of the key interface design team leads, the person who's been behind the iPhone X and behind the operating system, behind the applications of Apple. He's jumping ship to Meta. This is a huge coup. He's going to be thinking about the design of these things in the future.
Well, you bring that up about the Apple thing. That's not the first person we've seen leave the Apple AI story. What is going on there?
Yeah, they've really been shedding people. In many ways, this is tied more back to Johnny Ive's departure back in 2019, and they lost a lot of their design prowess people then. This is also turning of the guard. A lot of these people have been at Apple for a very long time. And we're thinking about Tim Cook himself coming to an age where he might be retiring. Many are wondering how executives shift. But you're right, the real deluge, the real loss has been in the AI area, particularly in the large language model department, where they've just taken so many hits in terms of morale. Because, look, they might even be turning to Google for its large language model rather than building in-house. And they've been recently losing out or sort of waving goodbye to Gian Andrea. That's the main lead of the AI.
So is that the
part.
assumption that they're going to farm their AI out to Google, perhaps? And
that's the perhaps.
And I think, and we'll talk to Anurag Rana in just a moment. He'll say from a stock perspective, that's what investors kind of want.
Yeah.
I mean, why spend $1 gajillion to be just do what you do with search?
And it's been self-limiting for Apple in many ways because they're all about safety on the phone. This is all about edge AI. It's not about, therefore, sending all your data into the cloud and doing enormous amounts of data analysis and therefore feeding it through large language models there. They want to be secure. That means you have to only be able to really do the compute on your own phone. That's very limiting at the moment. So you're just not getting the parameters that you need to have a really effective large language model. So therefore, maybe they do have to shift to a third party, at least while they get their ducks in a row.
So how are we thinking about how Meta is scaling against a lot of its competitors right now as we think about this AI race?
Well, isn't it interesting? It all dovetails together in the same way. For many, Meta is showing that it's putting AI first. And we understand the impact because everyone loves these Ray-Ban Meta glasses. They've been selling very well. We've seen that people have really seen the revenue streams galvanize the advertising offering, the marketeers loving how they've used generative AI within the product. We're all getting fed better content, more specific to us. That's going to be the help of generative AI. But are we really downloading Meta AI's own individual AI app? I haven't. I'm using it more in WhatsApp. But then we've also got the EU worrying about how they're fending off competition in WhatsApp.